Hey everyone, it's Liz Audette, and I am doing this video as a recovery challenge to another video that I saw. A guy named Tommy from Detroit, who's living in South Florida now. And so basically, he was at the Unite to Face Addiction rally, and so was I, and with a whole crew from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Um, but so the event is over, but the it the this whole thing is just beginning. And if you don't know what Unite to Face Addiction was, it was really, tens of thousands of people, getting together in Washington, D.C. and rallying. And there was a concert, and there was great speakers and political entities, and Surgeon General was there, some, like Dr. Oz was there. And so, all basically saying, enough is enough. People are dropping dead worse than ever with the disease of addiction. And, nobody wants to talk about it. And it's time to change the conversation. It is time to talk about it because it is affecting, our children. It's affecting, you know, every area of society, just like, drug addiction and alcoholism always has, and it's always taken lives. But this is like an epidemic. It's worse than it's ever been. Every 4 minutes somebody's dying from an overdose. And, we've got to talk about this. So, you know, um, I'm all about, recovering out loud. I recover out loud. I'm no longer going to hide my recovery because I'm not ashamed of my recovery. Because of my recovery, I was able to rebuild my life. I was able, to go back to school at the age of 40 years old and get a degree. And I was able to rejoin my Christian faith that I had walked away from years ago. I've been able to hold a job for, I did pretty good for a while there in my addiction, but, not at the end, but, the, so many things, volunteer, I vote, I'm a community member, I'm a good friend. I am, uh, this is what recovery has given to me. It's given me a strong faith and a belief in God, and I'm not ashamed of that. Recovery did that for me. God did that for me, and if anything, I'm gonna shout it from the rooftops. Now, as far as taking credit for my sobriety, once again, I'm gonna say it again. God did that for me. You know, so I have stayed very quiet, especially the last 4 years, being in going back to college, going back to university, knowing that I would be getting out and looking for a job. That I made sure my social media, all of the platforms that I was on, none of them just had anything about the fact I was in recovery until this year. And I said, this doesn't feel right. This is a part of who I am. Why am I hiding it? So, alcohol and drugs, it brought me not necessarily, I mean, yeah, there were some losses. Like I had like a car repoed, and I got evicted from a place. There was some damage done. I ended up no, some major damage. I ended up in a coma for 5 days on a respirator, Oxycontin. So, that that's what that brought me. But I think worse than anything else, it just brought me to a state of like, this is not how I was brought up. I was brought up with morals and values and knowing what was right and wrong, and I was breaking all of those morals and values. And you know, the bottom line is like, it brought me to a place of feeling very shameful that I should know better. Why do I continue to have use these substances knowing it's destroying my life? And as I got older, seeing the opportunities, like I thought I'd missed my opportunity to go to college. I thought I had missed my opportunity to, have children, get married. I did all of that in recovery. Um, Getting divorced in recovery, but that's another story. I guess I'm kind of rambling here, but the bottom line is that I'm no longer going to be silent. And I hope you aren't either. A lot of my friends that are on social media, you guys are quiet like I was. And what's that gotten? What sort of spirituality? I have a hard time wrapping my mind around. People are like, oh, the spirituality of anonymity. Well, I have a hard time wrapping my mind around anything that is considered spiritual, where we stand back and watch people die.